All right, guys, Blitz World Series action coming at you here in the semi-pro division on the Prime map for the month of October. Yeah, so we're going to be finishing things out strong here with our semi-pros. Well, if you guys are on YouTube, well, anyway, these are actually going out of order a little bit. Anyway, this is the semi-pro division, though. The pros have technically already been done, but don't worry, on YouTube, we're going to keep it in order for you guys. So you guys haven't seen the pros yet. Keep it spicy, keep you on your toes. So, anyway, semi-pro division here, D1. We got Lloyd the Lion out of the UK in yellow on the left. We got Dynamic, the Dino Dynamic in red. I forget where he's out of. Canada, I think. I think Dynamic's out of Canada on the right here. So, semi-pro, man, these guys are hungry. These guys have been playing so much Blitz. These four players in here in the Final Four. Hassan and Murray as well. Just been playing so much Blitz, so many reps, and these guys have gotten so good these last couple months. I'm really excited to see who's going to take home the crown here. And we are already moving so quick. Dynamic's got two rhinos on the backside as Lloyd pushes in with conscripts on the front side, and Lloyd's going to dive on the MCV. Dynamic's diving on Lloyd's MCV, and we are off to a start, boys. Oh my god, both MCVs going down. Oh, both MCVs do go down, and now Lloyd's going to try to pull back. Now both players left with, okay, he should be able to hold this. So both players now left with a War Factory and a Barracks, and right off to the races, boys. You love to see it. You love to see it. Dynamic still pushing in now as Lloyd forced to start building conscripts. Now both players with no MCV. Lloyd quits out. Yeah, he's just behind on tanks there. Didn't think he'd be able to come back. And what an aggressive opening. First one going to Dynamic. All right, 82nd point to start things off. The action coming at you guys really shows the energy level we're going to be having all day long. You love to see it. You love to see it. Now over to Allied versus Allied. Like I was saying, guys, this D1 group, the semi-pros, you know, instead of just giving them that one-day tournament, we gave them matches all throughout the month, and then we bring them into this Final Four at the end of the month. So we got these Final Four here today. We're going to be busting it out. So Lloyd and Dynamic, winner of this going on to the championship. Then we got Mad Murray versus Dr. Hassan, winner of that going on to the championship. We're going to have a third and fourth place game as well, and I'm really excited to see where this is going to go. If the first point was any indication of what the day is going to be looking like, we're going to be in for a banger. So here we go. We are going to see some early GIs from Lloyd. Very expected here. Allied versus Allied, obviously the GIs are pretty quickly nullified. You can kind of just counter with your own GIs. But interesting to see Dynamic with a very passive opening here, staying on the ridge, trying to protect himself a little bit. Lloyd has proven himself to be a very deadly player with those early GIs. Can just cause a lot of issues. So Lloyd now out with a Patriot missile to deal with these Eagles, and Dynamic opening Eagles here. I didn't even catch that. I was a little bit distracted here. So now the War Factory out. So Dynamic way behind on tanks, but look at these Eagles he already has out. Does he have the money for this? Rocketeers, Eagles, and GIs opening. Now going over to Grizzlies. It's an opening a lot of people try. It's just so hard to do without going broke. But you look at Dynamic, he's straddling 1K. He's looking pretty comfortable here. Okay, now the Eagles coming over, using those Eagles to try to chip away at the tank army of Lloyd's is so critical here to try to control Lloyd's tank numbers. Lloyd, bad pathing. He's got one Grizzly coming in the backside, gets demolished. Lloyd getting severely, and now Lloyd, how did this possibly happen? Lloyd with no AFC, committed to a War Factory. Terrible unit control from Lloyd. Really, really tough position. Not exactly sure how Lloyd got himself here, but he's got to be kicking himself very tough. Paradrop on the backside does get devoured. But yeah, this MCV is going down. He's going to click down the tanks. And another quick one for Dynamic. Java. Yeah, both these guys playing like they got somewhere to be. That's exactly right. Prediction in here, we got 50% on Dynamic, 50% on Lloyd. Yeah, so, well, now after those first 2 points, obviously looking in Dynamic's favor. A bit surprised to see this. You know, early on in the month, Lloyd was definitely where I would have been putting my money in this division. But yeah, hard to say. You know, day to day, week to week, Dynamic's just gotten so... I mean, Dynamic, if any of you guys who are keeping track, Dynamic actually won Division 2. So he won our Division 2, came into D1, and he was doing okay in D1 when he first got... I mean, this month, it's all this month. But each time we've seen this kid, he's just evolved into a better player in real time. Okay, so now Lloyd again going to open some conscripts here. And the Barracks goes down, and again we see Dynamic with the Eagles, opening with those Eagles, takes out the Barracks. Lloyd gonna dive on this single oil. Lloyd does pull the conscripts back. Good move there. If he lost all his conscripts, probably wouldn't have been worth it. He does need to try to get some value out of this. So now he's gonna throw the conscripts into the GIs. The Rhinos going right in. He's gonna click down the Eagles, which is a great move here. Oh, never mind. He's not clicking down the Eagles. Clicking on the Eagles can be nice, good way to get an elite. But yeah, okay, so he was able to snuff out that AFC, and he did lose quite a few Eagles there. So Dynamics got to be going broke. Did not get the value he needed out of these Eagles. You got to think this one's going to the line here. We shall see, though. Rhino, a lot of rhinos here, a lot of rhinos. This has got to be kind of a critical mass of rhinos in this position for Lloyd. Alright, so now he adjusts the GIs to hold the oil. That was a great bait from Lloyd. Get his GIs out of position. Now can go right for the juicer. MCV going down. Ooh, should really just take down that MCV. Oh, I could click down the tanks. Okay. Clicking on the tanks, now taking the MCV. Oh my god. Okay, sells the MCV. Yeah, losing those eagles early on. I mean, so when you open your eagles, losing them's bad. But honestly, even keeping them alive, you have to get so much value out of them, particularly chipping away at the opponent's tanks. You have to use those. If you're going to open eagles, you have to use them to try to control your opponent's numbers of tanks, which we did see Dynamic do very well in their AVA game. And that's just so important because the eagles obviously are just so expensive, and you're sacrificing build time on your tanks. So Dynamic down an MCV. Does Dynamic have... Oh, Dynamic has the Yuri Prime. Dynamic has a Yuri Prime coming. Oh my god, Dynamic has a Yuri Prime coming. Lloyd has the MCV. He knows he just has to hold this position. The Yuri Prime dodges the eagle hit. So the Yuri Prime dodges the eagle hit. Paradrop on the top side. Lloyd, I mean, Oh, he takes the sentry gun. Lloyd dives on the Yuri Prime. A valiant effort from Dynamic here. Yeah, that's pretty funny. Alright, so yeah, Dynamic kind of just has to make a death march right now with these GIs and just try to force something to happen, but it's not a great position, but, well, he still has his AFC, I guess, but I mean, Lloyd's just going to sit back and bolster up. Grizzly's out of position now, Desolator coming to deal with the GIs. Yuri Prime on the bottom side, Yuri Prime on the bottom side. Yeah, that cracks me up. Prime doing work. That's why it's called the Yuri Prime map, guys. Now an offensive paradrop on the backside from Dynamic as well. Now, oh, he is going to get this oil. That oil is going to chain rack, take the War Factory with it. But I just don't think... Oh, the Yuri Prime. The War Factory's going down. The Rocketeers come in. The Yuri Prime's doing some defensive work. You gotta love what Dynamic's trying to do here, but you just can't imagine it's gonna work. Beautiful chain reaction. Lloyd is now down a War Factory. Not gonna matter though. Yeah, I don't know how much Lloyd. Yeah, I don't know Lloyd. I mean Lloyd. Yeah, Lloyd. I mean, Dynamic's certainly doing a good job making Lloyd work for this one, but yeah, obviously nothing left to do in this position. So now snipers out, snipers and GIs. The problem is that, you know, we've seen this before in these positions, is that, like, Dynamic can't really even attack, because as soon as he attacks, he's going to get backdoored, as we saw with the War Factor, and as we will see again with the Barracks. Still has the AFC, still has 4 Eagles. The Yuri Prime is hilarious. It's cracking me up. It's actually kind of doing some work here in this position. So GI is now pushing in. He's got the... And the snipers are cleaning out those Desolators. The Rockies are going to dive on the MCV. Oh my god, they're... Oh, the MCV goes down. The MCV is down. Is there any way? Let's just talk about it. So, oh my god, he could get a 5th Eagle and take out this War Factory. If Dynamic gets a 5th Eagle, he could take... Oh my god, he has 5 Eagles. These flak tracks, though. He can't go through the flak. He takes the Barracks. Lloyd's now down a Barracks. Okay. Oh. There's just no way. The AFC has to go down here, and without the Eagles, Lloyd doesn't have a Desolator, you guys. Lloyd doesn't have a Desolator.
There's only one true
Marco, that's what Marco has. Marco, the most interesting thing in this game for Marco is this Initiate. The Initiate who auto-triggers this building and shoots it till the end of time. Now the Demo Truck for Lloyd, that's actually a pretty good move. Demo Trucks now from Lloyd. Yep, Demo Trucks. I forget, yeah, with the radar you can build Demo Trucks. That's going to be a great way to push through. So Lloyd kind of, the problem is if Lloyd goes offensive, so Dynamic is down to his last building. So if Dynamic goes offensive, Lloyd can just backdoor that barracks. That's the problem. Oh, he needs to use, oh, he can use the Eagle to control the demo trucks. So Dynamic has this Eagle that he can use to control the demo trucks, actually, which is pretty nice. All right, so the Erie Prime goes down. Oh my god, yeah, if that demo truck came out, oh my god, now V3 rockets. If the demo truck came out and Dynamic was able to hit it with an Eagle, he would lose the War Factory. Oh my god, this V3 rocket is actually going to cause some issues. The V3 rocket's actually kind of doing some work here. Dynamic calls GG. Wow, that was way too close. So for example, if a Yuri disc is shooting a Rocketeer, the Rocketeer will say there's too much flak. And that line doesn't make sense because flak is not the same as a disc beam. And I just have a real big problem with that. And I told Berg I'm not going to play the game until it's fixed. So here we go, point number four. So a pretty wacky one there. I mean, yeah, Lloyd ultimately pulling home the win. We'll see if he can make it happen here. So if Lloyd can get value out of this GI rush, potentially take home a win here, bring us to point number 5. Of course, if Dynamic wins this, he's into the championship, and then we do have a Son versus Dynamic, or a Son versus Murray right after this to see who's also going to the championship. And of course, guys, as always, next month we are doing it again. Next month, another map, another cash prize. All the divisions, all skill levels, lots of fun. If you guys want to come play, make sure you're in the Discord, redalert2.com. GI's pushing in, Grizzly's pushing in, so GI's coming right up that hill. It's a tough spot to come up, but he is actually getting it done here. If he melts this barracks, he will cancel. Oh, and that's going to cancel out Sentry Gun support. So that's pretty nice here. And Dynamic, so now Dynamic comes. So Dynamic now pushing into the GIs, losing quite a bit. Oh, he has another barracks behind now. This is good value for Lloyd. I don't think he's going to be able to close this out because Dynamic's on 4K. Dynamic now over to drones. Okay. So Lloyd, good value out of those GIs though, but yeah, he is forced to pull back from this position. Running up that hill. And if I only could. Alright. So yeah, so Dynamic with a pretty good hold there. Dynamic now on 3 War Factories. Wow, Dynamic immediately jumps over to 3 War Factories. This is gonna be a pretty tough position for Lloyd. You know, I thought that was a decent amount of value out of those GIs, but yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that's interesting. That's interesting. I'm surprised to see he wasn't able to slow him down more. Dynamic on 2K and 3 War Factories looking pretty comfortable. Alright, so now we see Lloyd just kind of tucking in a little bit here. Decent Grizzly numbers, but these Rhinos are going to get scary quick. Now, Lloyd now on 5. These 5 Eagles really need to start going to work here. Oh my god, he's going to get an Eagle droned. Oh, I thought he was going to get an Eagle droned. Okay. So 5 Eagles. Ooh, he's low power. Dynamic low power now. This is a free hit here. That oil's looking juicy. Will that take the MCV? Ooh, it might have. Does grab another oil. So what do you guys think in this position? Is it better to hit a War Factory or better to hit an oil? Dynamic sold a War Factory. Why did he sell that War Factory? He's on 8K. Why would he sell a War Factory? Rhino's coming here, and Lloyd needs to be able to hold this position. I'd like to see some more pillboxes from Lloyd. He's on 9K. Both players pretty comfortable financially here. I'd like to see Lloyd with about a billion more pillboxes. Yeah, I mean, so this is one of those positions for me where it's like, as an allied player at this point, you're like, screw it. Like, just, like, make him come to you. Once your Air Force is up, it totally shifts. You know, early game, we've talked about how important it is for the allied player to be in the Soviet player's face, slowing him down, working on him. But then as soon as, like, the mid-game comes, your Eagles are out, screw it, dude. Make the Soviet player come to you. Just sit back and pick him off with Eagles. Grabs another oil there, going after the economy. Now, that hit, there was probably some juicier targets there, as we do see Dynamic going over to Battle Lab Tech. And Dynamic is just playing, I mean, Dynamic is playing, this is just, like, right from the playbook, right? So Soviet, comes in. All of a sudden, okay, now the Allied player's teching up. Soviet player has to tech up. Lloyd caught, now shooting the ground. Oof. Any of you guys who don't play very much, who don't know what that is about, there's hotkeys, you know, when you're controlling your units. If you misclick or something, you get them start attacking the ground. All right, so now this, oh my god, this Desolator pushing right in, uncontested. Oh my god, just running right up to a prism tower. So now Dynamic bringing the Kirovs. Both players are in the water now. Dreadnought's coming. You got to assume Lloyd is making Dolphins. Yeah, Lloyd is making Dolphins. That Dreadnought might get a shot off, though. That oil, ooh, that Kirov looking juicy. Both those oils going down. Ooh, it didn't take the Patriot missiles, though. So that Kirov goes down. Kirov on the bottom side coming into some GGIs. Dreadnought goes right into Lloyd's base and goes down. This Kirov might try to target the GGIs. Yeah, it is going to try to target them. Not going to work. So Dynamic now has an Iron Curtain coming, about 45 seconds on that Iron Curtain. Another Dreadnought coming. I'd like to see this Dreadnought just start doing work. Could take out that oil. Nice backside hit from Lloyd. Takes out a War Factory, I believe. This is a ton of Rhinos. And Lloyd very slow to respond on the top side here. Force shield, though. And interesting to see... Dynamic lost his Iron Curtain. Oh, I didn't see that. Oh, I didn't see that. I thought that was a War Factory. Dynamic lost his Iron Curtain. Oh my god. Dynamic's army. What? Where did Dynamic's army just go? Wow. The Force shield with those pillboxes. And Dynamic just sat. Wow. And so Dynamic just sat in that zone. I didn't realize he had lost his Iron Curtain support, so I was scrambling a second there looking for the Iron Curtain. Sat in that zone and just got melted. He's on 3 War Factories, so he'll have another wave coming here quickly. He needs to get a Deso Bomb together. The problem is Lloyd has a billion snipers. We might be coming to game number 5. Yeah, this one might be coming to game number 5. It's all going to come down, you know, we've seen this before and we'll certainly see it again. It's all going to come down to the Deso Bomb. Now, right now, Dynamic could get lucky in this position and get a Deso Bomb in. Now, here's the big one. Ooh, nice oil, nice War Factory. And Lloyd, I mean, obviously, big key to victory here for the Allied player. Just staying so busy with those Eagles and slowing the Soviet player down. Now, like we talked about, like me and Marco were kind of discussing in our weekly chat. Me and Marco get together. He just likes to get on a phone call with me, and I kind of go over strategies for him. The amphibious Deso Bomb transport. Oh, nice Deso Bomb. Nice Deso Bomb. Doesn't even have to use the amphibious transport. Very nice. Is able to dive and get that MCB. And now Lloyd is in a pressure cooker. What do you guys think? Lloyd could have moved his MCV. You know, that hill was a bit vulnerable. He didn't really commit to defending it in some of the ways that he could have. So now Lloyd gearing up a counterpunch on the backside. He's got a decent amount of Grizzlies in here, but no Prism tanks and no snipers. Now Prism tanks coming, now snipers as well. So Lloyd's going to need to get some offensive value quick. He does have some aircraft carriers as well. All right, snipers to deal with the Desolators. Yeah, this you gotta think this is in Lloyd's favor here. Now Lloyd with a nasty group of units. The aircraft carriers annoying on the bottom side, pushing right in. Yep, the snipers are clearing out the Desolators. The MCV goes down. Yeah, and Dynamic now in the corner. He's broke. He doesn't know what to do. He's gonna send the Rhinos downfield. It won't work, but I like the idea. Yeah, Dynamic's dead broke. And that's what you saw. I mean, Lloyd, from the very beginning of this game, Lloyd had a plan to make Dynamic go broke. He was harassing him all game with those Eagles, making him go broke. And that's what we saw. So Kasana ST2? Kasana underscore. Thanks for the follow, buddy. Appreciate it. All right, Dynamic calls GG, and that brings us to point number 5. And wow, that's pretty impressive. The first 2 points just so severely in Dynamic's favor. And the barn is officially burning here in point number 5, and a very impressive feat for Lloyd to have pulled off here. Those first 2 games were so radically in Dynamic's favor. So not only, you know, a testament to, you know, him being ahead, but also those positions, you know, as a player, any of you guys who have seen it before, obviously it tilts you a little bit, right? I mean, it's kind of jarring to have those first 2 points like that. A lot of players, you know, it's a mental thing. You just lose so much momentum early on, and then you realize, like, hey, if I want to win this, I have to win the next 3 in a row. And that's what Lloyd's aiming to do here right now. Now 2 uncontested from Dynamic in a row here as we go to point number 5. This one is what it's for. ladies and gentlemen, we got the winner of this going on to the championship, loser going on to the 3rd and 4th place game, and both these guys want it. You know Lloyd's hungry for it. And that's what I've loved about the semi-pro division all month long. We just got these players who are so hungry. You know, like our pro guys, they're fun. They're great players. You know, they play blitz, they put on a show for us, but they're not like hungry. You know, like Marco, how hungry can the guy be, right? He's been playing the game for 20 years. He's getting a little bored. These guys, though, the new kids on the block, man, they are hungry to make a name for themselves, and you love to see it. So again, we're gonna see dynamic opening early Eagles here. The players did choose both their factions this time. So factions were chosen, Dynamic going Allied, Lloyd going Soviet. A bit surprising to see Lloyd early on in this month was so devastating with his GI rushes, but this time choosing to go Soviet here. And again, Lloyd was some questionable pathing here again on this map, and that's the point of this map, right? To have these two big zones and kind of make it difficult for your units to play both sides of it. I've seen Lloyd struggle with that a little bit here. But with that being said, Lloyd did dive on that AFC and did get it. And that's going to be a good way to try to slow Dynamic down here and make Dynamic go broke. Lloyd keeping the pressure on with the Rhinos, exactly what he has to do. Dynamic struggling a little bit. Lloyd coming at him from all different angles here. Dynamic having a hard time keeping up with his GIs to help defend. And another AFC going down here. Another AFC going... Oh, the AFC... He saves the AFC. Lloyd dives on the AFC. Lloyd loses all of his tanks. Oh, he's got another wave coming. Another wave of tanks coming now. Lloyd keeping up a nice macro on the back end here. That's where we've seen, you know, lower division players struggle in these early positions. You're putting the pressure on. You're like, okay, if I can get this, if I can get this, if I can get that, and you just keep attacking. And then all of a sudden you look back and you're like, damn, I never built an oil. And another AFC out. And again, this AFC going to go down. And Dynamic, this is going to catch up with him on the back end financially here. He just cannot afford to keep rebuilding these AFCs. And just so far behind on tanks as well, doing everything that, and not able to micro those Eagles. If you keep the Eagles flying, you can get them to a new AFC. He wasn't able to, lost a few Eagles. That's 4K down the drain. Tough position. Now Dynamic counterpunching with a single Rocketeer, not the counterpunch he needed. And now way out tanking on these Rhinos, and this is just all coming up for Lloyd right now. Ladies and gentlemen, Lloyd with the 3-0 run comeback. You love to see it. You love to see it. Wow, very, very impressive. Very, very impressive.